Oh, we're just recording.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to this very special episode of the Safety First podcast.
Safety first?
You might be wondering what makes it so special. It's that safety is no longer third. That's you heard it here. It has been bumped up twice.
Horrific accident.
Horrific accident.
We are legally required to tell you.
It has been 0 days since someone.
Kevin's dick and balls completely shredded, ripped off. He's like,
dude,
when the sign says this machine
saw
does not
God.
know the difference between flesh and metal.
is it healing well, Ken?
You're no longer Knuff.
I'm still.
You're not
picking
Knuff
bits off
anymore.
the ceiling.
You're lucky he was having a picnic and there was a stray lawnmower just
There
ran
was
straight
a
over
stray
him.
capacitor.
This is how we
bank.
started the last time when I was on, where it's like, hey,
My
what
balls?
Dick and balls?
No,
jokes?
what terrible accident have you seen online?
Did we do
that's my first thought was like, you ever see someone get caught in like a big lathe?
Yes.
The cool thing is Kevin
One
goes
of
on
us.
a piss
One
at
of
12
us.
feet though, so it's very impressive.
Just the bladder pressure alone.
Yeah.
Is insane.
yeah.
It's all about the nozzle. You got to create a laminar flow nozzle at the end, the right pressure and pinching.
We had
Anybody can do it.
No, so you just have a hole. So now you could put like your thumb over it, like a garden hose, and you can just.
I know, it
Oh,
worked.
maybe it would be better.
It's kind of like squeezing the nozzle, right?
Well, that's what happens
Yeah.
when post
Erection.
post
Court.
Post Malone.
Post court. Post Malone.
post coital.
Postal
Like
service.
when you have the.
I heard your urethra's rifled. Is that true?
I've never had sex, so I wouldn't know.
Do you have a rifled
who
urethra?
is sex?
Because
Mine's
you
not
can only do it
rifled.
twice, right?
It's
Because
What's
the
your
ball
twist rate?
comes out and that
I have
makes the
it does.
baby.
Mine's actually
So if you
it's
do it more than
rifled
twice,
in
then
one
you're
direction,
out.
but it's
You're
like
out
one
of
of those
ammo.
I don't know
those
who
wood
the
router
shit
bits
post
that's got the spiral in both directions, so it's good at
we
piercing
do this
and
for the
finishing.
audience. They love it.
So
They love
the
it
bullet,
when we do
the
a
piss starts
surround
spinning one
sound
direction
thing
and then
we
it
have multiple
flips and starts getting
conversations
rifled the other
happening.
direction.
Brain rot.
It's like a
It's
what do they call
bad,
it? It's
but
a
it's
progressive
also-
twist rate.
Don't
Something
listen.
like that. Yeah.
They've come to
I've got a-
At the
got
end,
a-
it's like a
and sometimes we kind of see like how
quarter
long
20.
we can keep it going, like how long both of these can
So
kind
we're
of
just
go.
having
I've got a
completely
1 in 12
different
twist
conversations.
rate.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of like eventually they do
My bullet is
kind of
spinning.
do pair
It's
back
spinning
up, but
faster than
Yeah.
it's moving
It
forward.
never makes a
Time
full
window
rotation.
longer
like
than
any
how
two
long
periodic
it takes.
any
makes
two
some
periodic
fraction of that.
cycles will have a multiple where they both sync back
it's,
up.
Or already
It's
have to
legitimately
best
kind of like a game of chicken. I'm really hoping that
Oh, so they
we are
gave
the
up.
ones that
Yes.
become the prime conversation and they
listen
join
to
us.
us.
I agree with
We
Alan.
couldn't keep we couldn't keep that one up for very long.
Yes.
That was an alpha male maneuver.
That was.
Kevin, you know what that means? We're the omega
Sigma.
beta
Sigma
Betas.
male?
alpha.
Yeah.
The
You have,
Sigma
to,
male?
you have to sit in the
The
hotel.
Zeta?
You have to sit in the hotel cuck chair now.
We have to sit in the jacuzzi after everyone's had
fair.
sex in it.
That's it. That's the cuck chair.
I've been watching the Fallout TV show.
Oh, you want to talk about that?
I mean, I haven't watched the last episode.
It's great.
I went all the way up to like the second to last episode. I've never
I
played
think
any
it's
of the
great.
games.
It's
But-
same. Never played the games. I think it's a good show.
Show's lovely.
Show's
It's a little-
very good.
A little
Yeah.
campy,
So,
but
well, I mean, and the games are exactly like that.
Oh, are they? Okay.
The games are tongue in cheek, alternate nuclear future, 1950s retro futurism, dark humor kind of thing. And
Yeah.
what's cool about the show is that they took a 25-year-old franchise that everyone gamers love.
Wait, it's 25 years old now?
Yeah.
Wait, it's a quarter of a
the first
century
one.
old.
You know,
It's so
I-
old.
And they
never
decided
played
to
any
do
of it.
a new story. So that takes balls.
Ah.
So they made all of the games are canon,
Yeah.
and then they made the show on top of that. And for
I-
everyone to like it,
It's
I
good,
think
yeah.
is a tremendous achievement, because when gamers don't like something, oh my goodness gracious. But the show's, I mean, it's perfectly cast, it's well acted. There's so many gamer moments of recognizing things.
Gamer moment's usually a
Um,
bad thing. Though.
Everyone, everyone's realizing what I've known for a long time was Walton Goggins is a fantastic character actor. Man, I love him so much.
Oh, he's the ghoul?
Yeah,
Ah.
that is just a small drop in a whole bucket full of drugs. Yeah, I absolutely love him. And yeah, so I've played hundreds of hours of Fallout, and I love it. It's great. I can't wait to see where it goes next. It's awesome.
Did you play the first one? Because I didn't know it existed. Like for me, Fallout has always been I've never played any of them, but like just from consuming media, it's been the first person.
Yeah, no, I didn't play the
ice.
isometric ones, like the early PC
It looks.
that
ones.
was-
It reminds me of like StarCraft, like that entire
Yeah.
era of
Yeah,
games
exactly.
was like pre-rendered,
Mhm.
but it felt 3D, but it also had this like horrific, almost like kind of creepy stop motion vibe to it.
No, that's that was an era of games like Red Alert, Command
Yeah.
and Conquer, and stuff where you could have movies and animations interspersed with this like isometric movement, and it's still
It's like it almost is better
when you
than
played
games
it.
that came out a little bit later. Like the early 2000s games look shittier than some of the late 90s, mid 90s games because they they just like figured out how to make it look good because they couldn't do the 3D.
I had
Exactly,
no idea
exactly.
that it was that old, actually.
Yeah,
I didn't know
I
either,
used to
yeah.
play another game called Arcanum, and I think it was made by the same company, like Larian or
Yeah. Well,
something.
Larian, that's
or
Baldur's
no,
Gate.
No, it wasn't them then. Who it was?
Obsidian?
Obsidian?
Obsidian did New Vegas and some other stuff.
No, it was like
Arcanium?
Arcanum. It's like it's a steampunk. There's like magic and machinery, and you can either like go down one of these other paths.
and magic.
Dude, anything that looks
Dude,
like that,
this game
I
was
love
sick.
that.
This game was
Yeah.
great.
In the same vein, a game that I still play with my brother.
Troika. Yeah, I think this is who made the first Fallout too.
Heroes of Might and Magic 3.
Oh wait, is that the wizard one where you're like you could play it
Turn
arcade?
boys. It's turn-based movement and you build up your
that
armors.
sounds
and you
like
fight.
a game that they would make up for like the nerds in a sitcom to talk about.
I know Tim Kane. I think
know,
is the
it's
guy
very-
that did both of it.
It's literally
There's
called
some connection there.
Heroes of Might and Magic. I guess it's not up
Dude,
there.
it's legendary. It's legendary. It's so good. And it had its multiplayer was hot seat. So with your brother or whatever, you would get in the chair, he'd do all his movement, and then he'd get up and you'd sit down.
Oh.
These old games.
Oh hell yeah, dude!
it's-
I remember this.
Oh yeah.
This
Oh,
game
yeah.
was sick.
Yeah, it was great. I loved it. I still love it.
I didn't play like
Yeah.
any of these games.
That's
as a
what I'm
kid.
talking about.
Oh yeah, this
Yeah,
was
I
good.
I didn't have, like, a
was
good
this.
computer.
I was StarCraft. I was
So,
Diablo.
That's all I had
much
was StarCraft.
I still play Diablo. I played Diablo yesterday.
Never played that one.
Yeah,
Warcraft, Frozen Throne, but it was only the multiplayer custom games online.
Well, so I was in Shanghai, China when these games came out because my dad was over there and we moved to be closer to him. And so me and my brother would get taxied to a internet cafe,
Ooh.
and my brother and I would play StarCraft 1 in a smoke-filled, strange, 100 stranger Chinese guy room
Yeah.
and just play StarCraft all day until someone
I
picked us
love
up.
They were probably playing
that-
it too, right?
Yes, of course. Yeah, yeah. Well,
Like an opium den,
that was
but
all.
with
That was all
StarCraft.
LAN, so you could connect to people
Yeah.
inside of the. Yeah, that was a weird. Part
I
of my
love
childhood.
the sort of picture
You were
that
probably really
paints
good
of,
at
like,
StarCraft.
I know.
your parents' relationship with their kids was like just get them out.
Oh yeah. Within 2 years, my parents separated and we moved back.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
My mom-
Thanks for bringing that up.
At least you had StarCraft. Though.
I did have StarCraft. Yeah.
I was
And-
gonna say that is the positive spin on it. Is you got to play a shit ton of video
Well,
games.
and to this day, I know a confusing amount about competitive StarCraft 1 and 2. I actively watch all of the active tournaments. So ASL, GSL, and those are, I got into that through Day 9's brother, who's Tasteless Online. He does casting with a guy called Artosis. And so they're like the only English speaking casters, the big ones. And so I don't play StarCraft anymore, but I could tell you a lot about modern competitive StarCraft for no reason. I don't know. It's something I put on in the background. It's like, hey, you want to watch 5 hours of RTS in the background while you crank it or whatever else you're doing?
I
I'm
don't
so
know
much less of a
anything
nerd
about
than I
Day
thought I
9. I was Eskimo Brothers with the guy who Day 9 rented his room from in college.
So
Okay.
you rub
Is-
noses.
I would
He's
like.
making
I would
stuff
like.
up.
No,
Is he-
Can we
you know,
elaborate
Are
on
you
this?
making
What is?
stuff?
No, the like
I thought I was having a stroke. What is an Eskimo brother?
I think that means. Well, I actually think that's for Alan to explain.
Like, are you talking
Yeah.
about like a sandwich?
I thought that was a common term because I don't want to explain it out loud. But look,
An
it's on the
Eskimo
screen.
brother.
It's
Men
on the
who have
screen.
sex with the same partner at different. What?
It's like.
It is sometimes considered offensive. Ah, shit. Well, I was not under the impression that it was offensive.
No, because of the term. The term we don't use.
oh, because Eskimo.
Yeah, it's
Oh, okay.
That's why.
I'm.
I mean, it is offensive to
it just
me
means that,
because
like,
it
when did this
sounds.
happen?
It just
gross.
means they're like they're gay, right?
No. It means
No. They're sharing the same part.
It's like I shook Jeff Bezos' hand, and then you shook my hand.
Yeah.
I am in the middle. You and Jeff Bezos are
Oh.
Eskimo brothers.
no, it's
except
like,
instead of
Oh.
no,
shaking.
it's like if you're
Yeah.
both fucking his wife.
Not at the same time though.
Not
It's a
at-
different
not
Not
at
time.
the same time, at
different
different
periods of
different
time.
periods
Right.
of time.
Yeah.
It's like it's not really a bad connotation. It's just more funny.
Oh, I see. Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
So
It
Yeah,
is-
so
it is
Day 9.
it's
I didn't know who he was. I like learned later.
It is
that he was
offensive
like
in
a
that
wrong
that
or
you're
whatever.
associating that with Inuit people, I guess.
Yeah,
I
Because it's usually like Eskimo giver, right? That
No,
means
it's Indian giver.
Can we not say like Cleveland Steamer either? What? So we can't say Cleveland Steamer?
Did he say Indian and you just thought Cleveland Indians and then that was a thing?
Bro,
I
their
was just
branding
saying,
is
like,
so
like
good.
tying things to make slang, like Urban Dictionary.
oh, okay.
Like it's Eskimo Brothers. Is
Guys,
like
are you
an
not
Urban
understanding that the problematic part is the racial component of what you're saying?
Not the fact that it stands for having sex with somebody else that somebody else had sex
No,
with.
no, that's
I
not.
think it's that. It's
a-
Eskimo.
I'm
not
Like
saying there's not a problem
yeah,
here.
it's
It's the
the
fact that
problem
Kevin
is
is,
that it's
officially
Eskimo.
trying to bring back Indian giver as
Yeah.
a term. That's the
That one's
Indian part.
also
is-
supposed
is
to be
These
bad.
are deep-seated childhood things
They
that
are.
we're not condoning. Or
all
saying-
traditions are valid at all times.
No, we're just saying that. Like,
I love
it's a
bullfighting.
Can we
term-
bring out the Confederate flag?
it's offensive to the point where I think it's okay to talk about. Like, I don't think any of this will be cut from the podcast, but we are acknowledging that, like, yeah, it's a term that I like. Indian giver. I heard that growing up. I know it's bad. I don't use it, but like
that
it's
was
a term
like-
Yeah, you don't
that
say that
exists.
anymore.
Yeah.
Give it to somebody and then take it back.
Yes.
I think when you're a kid, though, you have no fucking idea.
Yeah,
you have no
idea.
I still don't really
I
understand
don't
what
understand what's the bad part
Where did
about
it
it.
come
I think
is.
the implication
it's
is that
when we manifest destiny over
Yes.
them, we got this impression of them as people of what they did, and it was a derogatory thing.
But they would like the idea
No,
is
but
like
that
you
means
give
that we're-
somebody something
we're
and then you
the-
demand it back.
That's
right?
like us. That's what we did to them.
It's a bad term that is associated
Yeah,
with
but I don't really know what it means.
Yeah,
though.
like-
It doesn't, but you know what it means now.
like
No, I
did
still don't know what it means.
did Indians did they
It's not cool if I gave you a birthday present and then 2 days later is like, you know what? I spent too much money on that.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
yeah,
take it back.
but
Why
would
does it
people-
have to do with Indians?
Yeah, why would what did the
Because
Indians
that-
do? What did they do to deserve this?
Like what does
That's
what does
That's
why
the
it's bad.
point. That's why it's bad.
Oh,
You're describing the badness because we came up
Okay.
with a term for Native Americans of what they did.
then what about Cleveland Steamer? What does shitting on
What does
somebody
a
have to do
Cleveland
with? It's when
steamer?
you like crap on somebody. I think.
I've
Oh,
never
that's
done
'cause
that.
that's what
I've
Cleveland
never
does.
done a
what
Cleveland
does it have to do with
steamer.
Cleveland?
Well, because if you live
Maybe
in
they
Cleveland,
fucking
you're
These
just
things are not
constantly getting
equivalent.
shit on.
These things are
Why do
not
they call it, like,
equivalent.
the San
Sex act
Francisco
involving
steamer.
defecating on someone's chest and sitting in it and rolling back and forth.
Oh,
like a-
because that's what it feels like to live in Cleveland, in Ohio. That's why they called it that.
we should ask Peter
Yeah.
Schriepel. Does Peter Schriepel know why it's called a Cleveland?
I'm already exhausted.
So
Oh my god.
So when
But yeah,
did
Day 9
what's-
used to live in a room
oh, okay, yeah.
that
StarCraft.
he rented from a guy who used to date a girl that I dated after him.
Mm.
And so, you know, I was in close contact with Day 9 for a while, and I just never really knew.
He's a great guy.
Yeah. So it was Linus Tech Tips on like a live stream, which is like the producer, whoever was talking to me, you could see the
Luke.
fucking like Luke. You could see like the light in his eyes like disappear as he
Yeah.
realized like, oh, my
Oh,
career's
no.
over. Oh, wait, it's okay. So basically, Linus kept talking about how like, oh yeah, when I was younger, I used to throw around the hard R. You know,
And-
just
yeah,
like
and-
throw around the
and-
hard
and-
R and
yeah.
say it
She's
was
like,
okay.
what? He's like,
Yeah, well, yeah, yeah, you can see him like Luke is dying. And it eventually kind of they reach an understanding after a torturous maybe like 120 seconds.
No, I think it was shorter than that, but it
Yeah.
feels like 120
Yeah.
seconds.
But that
So what was he?
he meant like the word to disparage like mentally disabled people
Yeah.
and not the word for black people. And somehow it was like a relief that he meant that word and not this word.
Oh, hard
they thought,
R.
They thought he meant the
got it, got it,
N-word.
got
So
it.
he's like,
Yes,
use
yes.
it use it all the time,
Yeah.
you know, like all the time. Me and my friends.
Okay, I
Because
can
it was,
see
you
it.
know,
Yeah,
it was the
okay.
90s. It was a different time. We used the hard R, you know, like it was nothing. And now we know better. And the whole time.
See, my first, that wouldn't be where my head went to first if I heard hard R all the time. Like,
Yeah.
That is,
yeah.
I guarantee that is something that I every night before I go to bed, that's what would be in my mind, and I would not be able to fall asleep for like 3 hours.
Is the time on a live stream. You talked about how you would say the hard R all the time.
Oh
just
my
just to
God.
see yourself self-immolate in real time.
It's so like kind of
like that guy in front of the Trump trial.
Yeah, if
Jeez.
you could see, if there was a Linus Tech Tips stock value,
we
you
all
could
saw
watch
the
in
video,
real
right?
time.
It's horrifying.
I did
Yeah.
not actually.
I didn't.
I watched.
purposely
I
did
saw the
not.
one
I
that
saw-
was like this far away.
Really?
Oh Jesus!
I
Christ.
saw one video one time in my life of somebody getting burned to death, and I avoid those videos.
Yeah, no, they ruin you.
It's not good. It's actually the one that's bad.
Yeah, one of the worst things. Yeah, there's a couple of videos that have
There's like two
actively
people that did that recently
harmed me.
too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was the guy protesting
Israel,
Hamas, and then outside of Trump Tower. That guy,
that guy was just
the
crazy.
Trump trial. That guy was insane.
Yeah.
I think anybody that lights themselves on fire is a little bit crazy.
Yeah,
it's one way to make. It's one way to make a statement.
The guy that set himself on fire outside of the Trump trial thought that the Simpsons were brainwashing us to be stupid.
Okay, yes, I did read some of his material.
Yeah,
and it was
that honestly seems pretty on.
It had no contact. It had no contact with reality. What
Yeah.
you say?
If you watch The Simpsons, it's like a pretty smart show sometimes.
Used to be.
It's very smart. It's written by PhDs and stuff. It's not.
Yeah, that was like he went over all of that
Still?
in the manifesto.
Really?
Yeah,
he was just crazy.
He's like they're all smart. They went to like Stanford and MIT, and then they
that's
created
why they know
the writers
to
made
make
the
people
show.
dumb.
Yeah, they like made it as stupid as possible. Yeah, like whatever. Like they cracked the code to brainwash us.
What's our topic today?
We could go back to the
Safety
good old
No,
Mythbusters.
that well is dry.
Oh,
I got nothing else to say.
We could milk that well. Is that what they say?
They can
drier.
milk that well.
I mean, I think I brought up Fallout because it seemed like a pretty good conversation starter.
It was good for
I
me.
don't remember how we
have
fucking.
you seen, I thought of you the other day in your stupid shirt that you're wearing right now. Because I don't know if
this one is going to be an exclusive at
I don't know if
Open
you
Sauce.
I don't know if you saw this.
Sell these
Did
online.
you see this? Like some company in India bought the rights to the video archive of Mythbusters, and they're posting full episodes on YouTube.
In English?
Yes.
What?
Full English
Like high
episodes on
quality?
YouTube.
Wait, how?
That
They're
seems
posting-
just like
they're
an
posting all
oversight.
this.
How much did they
I don't know.
pay?
It starts with a B. It's like BE something. I can't remember what it is, but they're posting full episodes on YouTube. So like
feel
search Mythbusters full episodes.
So Warner Discovery couldn't be
And
bothered to fucking upload the episodes themselves, and they'd rather sell the rights.
So
to
try to find the name. So no, they're a company that buys the rights to stuff. I looked it up. No, that's Mythbusters. No, go back. It's specifically hosted by a company that is not Mythbusters.
It might be against the agreement they have.
There it is. So they're posting episodes in full.
Science.
Does it make you feel better that these don't have that many views, Alan?
No, but those are episodes in full.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying that.
And they're like high quality. The only ones you can find besides us are like rips from VHS
I bet they do
tapes.
better if they had better
No,
thumbnails.
the Mythbuster Discovery has started posting them in full too.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
I think that this could very well be like a violation of
that's
the
all
agreement
recent,
they
though.
have for publishing this stuff. Because a lot of times it has to be like geo-locked. Where like they probably technically are supposed to geo-lock it to India.
Oh, maybe.
And they haven't done that.
And
And I wouldn't be surprised if
we're the ones who are going to take them down.
I mean, they're
Just
like
by pointing
actually,
it out.
yeah. Because you're like, I mean, after the whole, them letting the trademark lapse, like they're clearly not on top of their shit. So I would not be surprised
They've got to
if
have
this
so
is.
much going on. Like, who even owns what anymore?
Dude, the mergers, remember when like Machinima got just destroyed because they like couldn't figure out how to deal with the backlog of content, like the copyright stuff. And so I think Warner bought them, right? Was that?
Warner Discovery.
Yeah, and so they killed they basically privated every video and just got rid of the channel. They bought this like enormous thing and then
like they
yeeted
bought
it.
HBO
Warner
too.
Bros. Digital Networks.
Yeah.
They bought HBO and then they like got rid of there used to be HBO Max. They got rid of that.
Now it's just Max.
Now it's just Max. They got rid of
We had one of those.
half the shows on there too.
Legendary Digital Networks.
Yeah.
Dude,
Oh,
Warner
yeah.
Warner Bros.
Warner Discovery
Are you
bought Rooster
kidding me?
Teeth.
They own like everything.
Wow.
Like it's them and Disney basically, right?
I don't understand it. That's like
Wait,
crazy,
do
right?
they own
How-
Disney at the? I don't know.
Well, we're under Disney. Disney owns us. Nobody believes that.
God bless Mickey Mouse. May his copyright remain intact for 1,000 years.
May his cock for
All
every long-
hail. All hail the mouse.
Not the Steamboat Willie version though. We lost that one.
Yeah,
But
that
God rest his soul.
the color version that has the pink skin. May his image be protected for
eternity.
Yeah, for all time. For all time.
You have to
Trademark
say
forever
that.
be.
You have to recite that every morning, or else you get shot.
I pledge allegiance to the mouse.
No, I heard that there was like a tongue-in-cheek chant that like the interns at the engineering part of Disney.
Imagineering.
Yeah, Imagineering. They had like this morning
Cringineering.
chant that they would do. They go, "Feed the mouse, feed the mouse."
That's good.
It's kind of like a fun,
Sarcastic.
Little, yeah.
Keep it up. Get to work.
Say it again. Say it again.
I'm almost there. I'm close.
Why are you good at making that sound? Why can you do
I've done it before.
Mickey Mouse coming sound?
I've done
This
it
is
before.
actual. That's the Kyle Hill coming sound.
Yeah.
That's not the Mickey Mouse.
Transit like right if you squeeze at the right times.
Yeah.
Oh, and there's
That was great. Do you want me to call you an Uber or something? Get out. Bye-bye.
That sounds like Goofy.
Bye-bye.
Gosh.
why don't you get out of here?
I hope you're
So,
enjoying your time in
Kyle,
Imagineering.
Here's a paper towel for your back.
How do you feel about the portrayals of nuclear power in shows like Fallout that have this
Fallout's
pop culture appeal?
What a responsible and professional transition.
Yeah, wow, that was great.
I just
Nice
I
transition.
didn't see a way out of what we were doing. I didn't see a path out.
Speaking
of
of
where we
coming,
were.
what do you think about Fallout and nuclear?
Fallout takes a different tack because it first stipulates that you have fusion, miniaturized fusion. So when you see those fusion cores,
Yellow and black things.
yeah, that's nuclear fusion miniaturized, and so you don't have the same issues that nuclear portraying media usually has, where they have the cooling towers and the reactors.
Yeah,
and
in
everything like
Fallout,
that.
it
all
makes
of that
you,
is
It's
all
very
that is-
convenient.
It makes you immortal in Fallout.
Yeah.
the radiation makes you immortal.
Yeah, no, Fallout, like all great sci-fi universes, I think, bend one rule in physics or so, and in Fallout, that's miniaturized fusion. So once you have that, you basically have an unlimited power, and you can have power armor and cars that run forever, et cetera, et cetera. But so in that respect, it's fine. The last episode, I won't ruin it for you, but it does rely on a technology that's not as fine. Not bad in a way, just doesn't make as much sense. But most shows and media get nuclear power. Well, they just lean into the scariness of it.
Right.
Where if they really knew how scary everything else is, it wouldn't seem, it wouldn't be such a focal point of media like The Simpsons or something like that.
At this point, I actually don't know if nuclear power is good or bad. Like it just is kind of like all over the place.
I sense.
right?
I sense a kind of.
Oh no,
a,
it's good.
it is very good. I mean,
Okay.
Like without a
Nuclear power,
doubt,
good.
nuclear power epic.
it's the numbers are very easy on
Yeah,
this.
I'm big on big nuclear.
Big nuclear.
Oh yeah, no, I mean,
Oh yeah, full send.
Send it.
That's why it's so confusing me. That's
bunkers.
like you guys
Did we
have
save 30
like
bucks by
We don't
not
need
installing
control rods where we're going.
you're very
You
confident
hellfuckers.
in nuclear power being good, but I it's like that. It's almost confusing to me that it's like it should be that obvious, but I honestly don't know why.
When we laugh about it or they make jokes about it, it's because low hanging fruit, just the numbers are very clear. So, for example, the number of people that have been, let's say,
Falling off of wind
mutated
turbines.
into immortality.
become a nice little ghoul. But the number of people who have died as a direct result of nuclear accidents is below 50. Whereas
Wait, that includes like Chernobyl
Yes.
and 3 Mile Island. And
yes, no one died.
Fukushima
No one
and-
died after 3 Mile Island.
Huh.
There is statistically not one case of cancer, and if you look into it and we're engineers, if you look into it for any amount of time, it's very obvious. but there's so much misinformation around these things that it's easy to lean into the fear. Whereas to give you the counterexample of 50 people in the history of nuclear dying in accidents. If you averaged out the number of people that will die as a result of air pollution from fossil fuels, it's about one person every 6 seconds.
Or that have just fallen off of wind turbines. I'm sure
Yes,
that's
that's also very true, and it's non-trivial how you dispose of wind turbines. It's non-trivial how you dispose of photovoltaic cells.
Yeah.
Spin them
and
fast
things like
enough
that.
and then let go the blades as they're approaching their upward velocity, and they'll go
Straight into space.
I mean, I don't care about any
7.2
of that.
kilometers
Like,
per second.
As long as you're trying to like make progress and do something else new, like I'm all for wind turbines, solar power.
How
No,
cool would it be to have
yeah,
explosive
Well,
bolts
the
on a
argument has
turbine?
never been nuclear only.
Yeah.
It's a way. It is a valid, safe way to transition away from fossil fuels, and it's the most energy dense thing that we have.
And it's like, you know how people try to dunk on like wind energy by like, oh yeah, but you still got to get rid of the blades and like, you got to recycle the fiberglass.
Do people
or like,
say that?
oh yeah, they think they're so.
I just said that because
no.
I was. I think what you're getting at is that when you're at that level of argument,
exactly,
you're ignoring like Exxon Valdez oil spill.
Yes.
Like the two things are not equivalent.
You can tell.
Oh, what do you do with the nuclear waste?
No fucking idea what they're talking about.
I was in Washington D.C. like 2 weeks ago talking to like the Department of Defense about this.
Oh, God.
And they said, do you know how much
Bill Nye wasn't available?
I think
they got a discount store brand Bill Nye.
Okay, first of all, fuck you.
Hey man, at least you're on the fucking shelf.
Yeah. Discount knockoff. Yeah, we're in the fucking
Second of all, I'm technically more educated.
Oh! Yes! Let's go!
I mean, that doesn't matter, but if you want to play that.
Yes, let's play
I have more expertise in this space.
Title thumbnail, baby.
But if you
Bill Nye thumbnail again.
Yes. So I asked, how much space would you need to store all of the nuclear waste in the United States? And they said about 3 Walmarts worth of square footage.
Talking the big Walmart.
Yeah, super Walmart or regular Walmart.
You are missing the point. You're talking about a large stadium parking lot.
Okay.
Could store all of the nuclear waste ever generated in the United States.
Think of how much coal you could fit in that parking lot.
At least
what I like to
4.
What I like to say is where is nuclear waste? And you point at the casks, you point at the spent fuel pools. It's right there. Where is fossil fuel pollution?
In my ass and lungs.
Right in there.
My blood.
And unlike nuclear waste, stuff like mercury and things, byproducts and used in the production of fossil fuels, mercury is toxic forever. Those things are toxic forever, where nuclear waste by definition is not.
But isn't it still bad for like thousands of years?
Depending on the waste. But again, it's so easily contained and stored, you can literally just put it in a parking lot forever and nothing is going to happen.
I love
and
how
it's not liquid, it's not goo, it's vitrified, so it's glass and rock, or it's just the fuel rods and the fuel pellets, and it's encased in containers that literally can resist airplane impact.
Yeah.
I love we as a society just picked like a canyon in a mountain to throw all our trash in as a landfill.
That would have been
but then
so
everyone
easy. Everyone
like
got
gets
so
up in arms
scared.
about nuke. It's like
they have no idea. I don't blame them. It's the bad PR around it where you think anything a kilometer underground, anything is going to be harmless there.
Yeah.
It could have been, a fucking bomb.
Yeah, even Jeffrey
and it still wouldn't have harmed your little community or whatever. Right. So it's and this is what I said to the people in DC. It's like there's a gulf of understanding here where people they can't get on the same page because they're not even in the same book.
What do you think it would take to change people's perception of nuclear energy?
Well, that's the weird thing is like when I try to keep my ear to the ground, even like with memes, I have started to see more pro-nuclear memes from in every format, from SpongeBob to whatever the new thing is.
Like nuclear meme propaganda.
Yeah.
No,
Could that
but
just be AstroTurf?
No, I don't think so, because the people who work in these communication departments,
girls with 3 boobs.
No, seriously. So seriously, like the people who work in the communications departments of these plants, and I've talked to some of them, they do want to get the word out there, but because they're in these big corporations, they can't really do the fun stuff. It's the same like NASA.
Yeah.
Have you ever been contacted like, oh, come to one of our social media events?
Yeah.
And
all the time, bro.
Yes.
Definitely.
But you can almost do nothing and say nothing fun or interesting.
Oh, unless you're destined, because then you can tell them that they're wrong. They're not going to invite him
We're
back.
not smarter every day.
Sassier every day.
Yeah.
He has the mildest of takes. All right. he has a milk toast take. He's a milk anyway.
Hey, that's why he gets more views than all of us.
Hey, cool. There's a gun and a pool and you put 2 together. Congratulations.
I was the pool.
If I was smart enough to do that, I would fucking do that.
He really is
Did the
smarter.
pool survive?
Yeah, the pool survived. Oh, fuck. He's a great guy. He's very smart. But when you see a meme out in the world, like a pro-nuclear meme, that means it went through some process of natural selection on the internet, and that some amount of people are like, yeah, that's funny, that's good. And I see more and more of that kind of talk, and so I sense some weird kind of change, at least in young people, where they get that it's safe, and they get that Chernobyl and Fukushima is kind of a red herring.
Yeah.
But to close the gap to make it like politically viable.
Do you think they actually get it, or is it some like kind of young stubbornness? Because I feel like there is a level of defiance of like this boomer generation being like
I when you check the comments, and I do because I'm in this universe now. It's a lot of people are like, yeah, if you look into it, XYZ, I did a school project on this. The statistics are actually this,
right?
Blah, 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 blah. I think they do have an understanding that it's safe and viable. It is. It seems.
I feel like that's always been around though, and it's just the politicians who use it as like a tool to.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I think there might be some like some.
Well, Germany just finished shutting down all of the reactors in
right,
the country.
so for being so progressive.
Yeah,
they're
yet
so
they
scared
fucking
of.
make cars without turn signals.
Well,
Wait, they do?
Yeah, the BMWs don't have turn signals.
The Germany situation is slightly more. I was in Germany in May filming about this, and it's slightly more complicated because Germany has a hundreds of years of coal mining history. They have lots of natural gas. The political will to transition to all green energy. They're saying we can do it without nuclear. So it's not like nuclear is the worst thing in the world. They're saying it's more like, are you cutting your?
No, there's like a little. It's been bothering me, like a little string that's been hanging off.
Fuck is going on over here?
I don't know. I just whip out a knife and
He's like cutting his balls.
Jesus. What's...
Dude, it's been bugging me for like the past
On your
two
pants
podcasts.
or on the chair?
On the chair.
It's
this like big long
this
hair,
is
like
just
that
Kevin's
long.
brain is how his brain works.
Might as well
And
slice
This is why you cannot put
here.
Kevin in the
You can
control
have
room
it.
of the nuclear reactor.
I want to see how far that baby can go.
So the Germany situation is more complicated because they want to be 100% renewable and meet the climate goals of 2050.
They don't even need nuclear.
They think they don't need nuclear as much as some other countries. So even there, it's a little complicated. And the engineers I talked to are like, yeah, we think it's crazy not to use nuclear, but that's beside the point.
But the public, it's been spun to them like it's not safe. Not because
Like, but what do you think is bad about what? Okay, I say wind turbines. What's the bad thing about them?
No.
No. But what are they?
Birds.
Birds.
Yeah.
When you say
yeah,
solar,
okay.
what's the bad thing about solar?
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Recycling.
It's expensive.
initial
something?
carbon
Sure.
footprint.
When you say nuclear, what's the bad thing about nuclear?
Chernobyl.
Right. And what's actually the bad thing about turbines? Like, is it fucking birds?
Yeah.
Dude, fuck the birds. You know how many birds we kill every year?
Yeah.
On purpose? We literally farm them to murder them. What the hell is a couple birds running into a wind turbine mean to
Did
me?
you know that we've lost over 60% of the birds in the past like 50 years?
Insects too.
Yeah.
Did you say incest?
Yeah. Thankfully.
They're just gone, dude.
Insects.
Like the
When's
birds
last
are
time-
gone.
Yeah, like when's the last time you saw a bug?
Yeah. When's the last time
Oh,
you've
yeah,
seen a
bugs
lightning
are
bug?
gone.
The
Yeah.
The bugs are gone.
Do you remember driving
No
across the
bugs.
country and your windshield being covered
Yeah,
in
no,
bugs?
it's a mass
Now,
extinction.
I remember running into a bunch of bees in a car, and I have not run into
That happened
a
to
herd.
me!
I haven't run into a
That
herd
was
of
the
bees
last-
in a
that
long
was the
time.
last-
That was the last bees.
Or is it flock
Wow.
of bees?
Good job. Yeah.
Yeah,
was it.
I hit him with my bike, and it was a flock of bees in the middle of
Herd
like
of bees.
on a sidewalk,
Yeah.
nowhere near flowers or hives. And so when I hit them, it felt like little ping pong balls. If you were driving along a road in SoCal and you heard a guy go, bees? Like in a questioning sense? Because I was like, why the hell is there a flock of bees here? That was me.
Oh, okay, that was you.
Because I was so confused. Why am I hitting a bunch of bees out here? No, I take your point. Like the scale. So I call it. I recently came up with, my analogy is like nuclear has the airplane crash problem.
Yeah.
Where airplane crashes almost never happen.
Yeah.
Almost nobody dies ever.
Yeah.
Like last year, I think there were 0 airplane related commercial deaths. But because an airplane crash is so visceral,
Right.
you remember it, you focus on it. It could have happened 40 years
Every time
ago.
you get in the plane, you're like, this is the one.
Yeah,
This is
exactly.
it.
And everyone,
Do it. Let's go.
everyone's terrified about it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, they don't realize 40,000 people a year die on roads.
Right.
And we have all accepted that as a consequence of getting around.
Yeah.
So I think people need to be reminded of the car crash problem for fossil fuels, where it kills 5 million people a year, and we have chosen to forget about it.
I feel
But
like
if you put it up against nuclear power, it's car crash versus airplane.
No one
It's
actually
not
cares,
even
though.
close
It
to the same
it doesn't
thing.
even
Just
blow up like a
entertainment.
bomb. It just kind of like smokes, and you have to
Airplanes?
just walk away from the smoke.
Which
Power
one?
plants.
Oh, if the
nuclear?
if a meltdown happens.
One did.
Which one?
Well, did one actually go
Fukushima?
off like a bomb?
Oh, no, not like a nuclear bomb. No,
Oh, okay.
that's impossible. But Chernobyl did explode.
Yeah,
But that was
Like
different.
local.
But yeah, so like, I've done a lot of videos and stuff about this. But even then, even in the event of a meltdown, it is now agreed upon by Japanese scientists that more people died as a result of evacuating Fukushima.
In cars.
No, just elderly people who had to leave their homes, hospital patients, being away from your home for 10 fucking years led to more deaths.
Wow. I didn't know that they were still evacuated.
More social isolation, more suicide rates. Then
still evacuated 10 years later.
But even like the idea of like getting in a car,
there's a lot of driving. A lot of areas are open, but
a little spicy still.
Do we know the statistic on like deaths per like 1,000 miles driven? Like every day in Los Angeles, how many people die in like a car accident?
Oh, sure. Yeah, I mean,
like thousands.
Like, did more people die? Like,
thousands.
It better be. If the traffic's this bad, somebody better have died. Like, what is it? Passenger death rates. How is this broken out?
0.6 per what?
100 million.
Control scroll text.
0.6 per. Oh,
it's 10 per mile driven.
12.9 deaths per 100,000 people. 1.37 deaths per.
Is it every year?
100 million miles.
But that's cumulative. That's not per capita of driver.
No.
But
just look in LA. How many people died?
Your point is that, like, look, I'm on the more conservative, skeptical end of how many people actually died as a result of Chernobyl and Fukushima. Because
I mean, two a month.
What's
2 a day?
2 a day?
2 a day.
What's
in Los Angeles?
Yeah.
Oh, because 622 people died.
Right. Wait, so like when you think about it like that, like
year.
if something happened in Fukushima and like what? How many people died over that thing from the nuclear accident versus how many people died from just driving? Like there's a chance that those numbers are much closer.
Well, so there's a controversy within nuclear disaster studies about how many people have actually got cancer after Fukushima or Chernobyl or what have you. And I'm on the more conservative end. The more we don't have to get into it, but there's a lot of numbers that if you were just being scientific, health physics minded about it, the number of people that died after Chernobyl as a result of, long-term cancer and Fukushima after long-term cancer is probably around 0.
Really?
Yeah.
Like just
that's a conservative interpretation of the numbers.
So you're saying like people on the outside of the event.
Outside of so 28 men and women died inside of Chernobyl during the explosion and during the immediate cleanup. Some got horrible radiation poisoning, but after that,
even the people that were a part of the cleanup process and stuff, there was not a whole lot.
Yes, because from a health physics standpoint, what you do is when you send in a liquidator or a cleaner, you give them a time limit. You say, I know how much radiation's in there. I know how much dose is bad. You have 2 minutes.
Right.
And one of the chilling things that
I don't know a job that you only have to work 2 minutes a day.
But
you get paid for think about
this.
Whole year?
Think about this. I don't know if this is apocryphal or not, but one of the most chilling things I ever heard about Chernobyl was when they were telling the liquidators to go up onto the roof and clean off like literal pieces of fuel. They said, you have a choice. You can either go to Afghanistan and fight for 2 years, or you can go on this roof for 2 minutes.
Can I go on this roof for 2 years?
No, you can't.
Oh,
no. My point being,
I think I would go to Afghanistan. I'm not gonna lie.
No. Guys, I think the point is that the Soviets deemed those equivalent risk.
Right.
That's how crazy it was inside.
I'm
of
not
the
sure
plant.
how much I would trust the entity that allowed the accident to happen to give me solid.
Well, someone's got to clean it up.
Yeah.
You can't have all of your workers immediately die. It's not like they're just going to throw bodies into it. But so you have time. The thing you remember is TDS, time distance shielding. As long as you're not there for your minimum amount of time, maximum amount of distance away, maximum amount of shit in between you.
So you're telling me that there's been like no statistically significant rates of cancer increase in that area?
Yes.
I believe it.
What about the not conservative?
I can't prove that you're wrong.
Not conservative side. Not conservative side. The people who there's two schools of thought on radiation damage. One is linear, no threshold. Mm-hmm. So think of an XY graph.
Yeah.
So they would say
totally cumulative.
Yes.
Yeah. And safe dose.
Exactly. And that it starts at the origin of 0. Anything above that is potentially bad.
That's why cigarettes are legal, right?
That is what most governments, most regulatory agencies use because people are afraid of radiation. Right. Mm-hmm. What has been vastly more scientifically validated is the threshold model, which is to say below a certain dose, your body can deal with it.
So it's like statistically significant. Like if it's not enough damage, you can overcome the damage. But if you go above a certain
and we know
damage,
this is possible because we're getting irradiated every second of every day by cosmic rays.
So it's basically like DNA
radon, by
that's why it took so long to climb out of the ocean.
No, exactly.
Right.
And no,
I'm going back
he's
in
right.
the ocean.
He's right. No, DNA repair. That's a thing. We wouldn't have evolved without DNA repair because cosmic rays, UV radiation from the sun, and so if you go even further, there's another theory called hormesis, which is to say there's even a benefit to a little bit of radiation because it activates some of those repair mechanisms in the body. Similarly to like how slight starvation can like kind of activate some like different things in the body.
No, I've heard like studies before where it's like these people they were like living in an apartment complex made with sand in
radioactive
concrete,
asbestos,
something like that.
A lot of uranium ore in the
something like that. Yeah, and they were actually like the rates of cancer for people that lived in that apartment was like lower than average.
Yeah, so there's things. So there's things like that. So when you were talking about what is the difference between like the conservative and non-conservative, the people who are
you found it. That's the one. There was also the one in Russia where there was like an orphan source inside of the walls, and everybody that lived in that room got leukemia.
I'm going to make a video about that one. Because that's terrifying. But so when you're saying what's the difference between like 0 and why some people say after Chernobyl there was 40,000 cancers?
Yeah,
it's because they are taking those tiny numbers and extrapolating them. We don't have the actual health data. They are saying from a no threshold perspective, we would expect 40,000, but that is ignoring if there's a threshold. So those are the two.
Yeah,
that's how you can get wildly different numbers. So I lean more towards threshold and hormesis because it seems more scientifically validated and just evolutionarily it makes sense. And so that's why I tend towards the lower numbers. And even if there was 40,000 cases of cancer after Chernobyl, that is eclipsed by 1 year on United States roads.
Right.
I mean, it's still not even in the same universe as fossil fuel related deaths. It's just not even close.
It's funny that people will focus so much on the deaths of that scale.
Yeah.
And then completely ignore the things that are completely unnecessary in society, like alcohol and cigarettes that we're totally okay with.
Sensational.
And that's 40,000 also over a lifetime.
Right.
Over years.
Yes. No, yeah, exactly.
It's not like like all at once.
That's why
how like if we're that worried about radiation deaths and like worst case scenario is like 40,000, how come no one gives a shit about the stuff we have total control over?
Get more of the lead out of our gasoline and stuff like
and into our water
and into the pipes. No, exactly. That's why what you just said, Kevin. When you read some of these studies, like from Fukushima, they were very granular about it. It's like we could have. Since it takes like 20 years for cancer to develop, we could have let old people back into their homes even if the rates were too high.
Right, because they're gonna...
If they're 70.
It's like asbestos, right? Like once you're over 30, you're going to die of natural causes anyway. And so, or is it 40? We don't want to give wrong information out in case someone else like...
by the way, Jane Goodall, oh man, we were so off base there.
The risk of cancer from asbestos, there is a graph you can find somewhere of age of exposure and cancer onset and goes down dramatically after 40.
Because after 40, you're basically immune to asbestos.
Because something else is going to kill you first.
Well, so it's a hard cost benefit discussion to have, but it's true, right? I mean, is it more worth it to let an old person stay in their home, in their village, keep living their life, or move them to a stadium on a cot for 10 years? What is actually more harmful?
If we got rid of the old people in America, we would probably
that's not where I was going with
because they're
get
really
them
bad. Get them off the road.
I mean, that's
people. The actual number of people going.
If you lowered the, if you
that's a pretty hot take, Kyle.
No, sir.
Well, they don't want. We can't take their licenses away. So we just
no, if you made the restriction on license, you would save X amount of lives.
Right,
but we don't.
Nobody wants to talk about that because nobody wants to drive their stinky parents around when they're like 90 years old.
They get to keep their license, but only if they help clean up nuclear disasters.
But they have to drive at least 55 miles an hour at all times.
You also have to reverse the gas in the brake
They
pedal.
do stuff like they do
just to
stuff
make
like
sure
that
they're
in
still
Japan.
sharp.
Oh,
And
right,
the string
because
wheels back.
they
Yeah.
had like the people volunteer at Fukushima
Mhm.
who
They have
knew they were going to die
because they're
from the
very
radiation
detail
poisoning.
oriented. They know the statistics and the health physics and stuff like that. But circling back on all of this, I just want people to realize that we make these cost benefits for everything all the time.
Yeah.
If we decreased all of the speed limits on United States roads, we would save X thousand people a year.
Yeah,
but
but
we-
that's
so
so
wait,
slow.
I know.
Yeah, let's kill more people. Let's go
But
faster.
No, but we decided.
Yeah.
We decided that's okay.
I think we need to reevaluate.
What I'm saying is
It
that
should be even faster.
what I'm saying is that we decided about the fossil fuel pollution,
Yeah.
and we all decided it's okay, and it's not in the context of nuclear power. It's
Right.
not it's not tenable long term. It's if you have something better that's way stronger, way safer, way more energy dense, you have to reckon with the numbers.
Yeah.
That's my point. It's like if you actually look at what is killing people,
Right.
the argument becomes
Yeah.
much stronger.
You realize that almost everyone is really stupid, though, right?
Yeah,
nuclear has had the worst PR campaign of any industry in the history of industry.
I can't believe that. Like,
So
we're
so
still
I
having
don't
this
I don't
conversation,
blame
you know?
people, but at the
About
same
nuclear?
time it's
like
just,
as a society.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Yeah.
But that's why I think
it's
that
been an
people are just
incredibly
stupid.
durable
Yeah.
fear. It's been a very durable fear, and it's unfortunately it's been punctuated like every decade or so by something new.
What
like
about like what
clockwork.
is the order of magnitude of things you should be afraid of? Like if
Nuclear
you're
war.
afraid of nuclear what
war.
should you also be afraid of that you're not? Like is it
Oh.
driving? Is it cigarettes? Like if we were to sort of
What if-
compare the
I
scale.
have a pitch. What if
Compared
we
to
just,
scale, I mean, I'd be more afraid of a shark attack, to be honest.
What if we just made sure that there were like way more nuclear accidents? What if we just made sure there was like
What?
100 nuclear accidents a year? Then it would become mundane. No
Yes.
one would give a
Yeah.
shit
I
if
mean-
there
And
was a
everybody
nuclear
would know.
accident
I mean-
like every couple of days on the news. By the first month in, no one would give a shit anymore. If you just made sure you had 100 meltdowns around the world every year.
Everyone's like, "Oh my god, I get it."
That's my pitch.
I mean, you still
Stop making it happen every 10 years. That's too infrequent. It becomes special. Make sure it happens
Did not
every
expect this
couple of
take.
days.
did not
Eh?
expect that take. No.
But, I mean,
we need
think about
people
it.
to pivot back to birds getting chopped up by wind turbines more exciting than nuclear.
Think about it.
Yeah.
Just think about
No,
it.
okay, Tucker.
I think you could literally
Just asking questions.
I think you could net kill more people a year with nuclear and make it proportionately less scary by killing more people.
Yes.
Well, when you say the proportion, it's like for every there's a moral argument there. For every year you don't have more nuclear power plants, that means you're not saving X people on purpose.
So you get to kill that amount of up
Okay.
to that amount of people to make nuclear more popular, and that's morally equivalent. Like
Yeah.
that's okay. It evens out.
Yeah,
Probably
that's what I in Washington. That's what I told them.
Yeah.
That's what I told the DOD. I was like,
Nice.
you could
Just kill that amount of people in like forced nuclear accidents to make sure there's one every day.
No, I'm not a nuclear physicist, but I've become like the YouTube nuclear guy.
Yeah.
Because I make so many videos about
Which
it.
in many ways means your people will listen to you more than an actual nuclear physicist.
I think that's interesting, and that's why I lean into it.
Honestly would not want to listen to a nuclear physicist because they'd be talking about boring shit.
No, and well, now we're just that's just that's the difficulty of science communication in the first place, where people watch us because the smartest person in the world is boring as shit.
Yeah.
Like a Nobel Prize winner probably is not great at telling great stories.
I agree.
There's only a couple people like a Richard Feynman who is great at that, but other than that, yeah, it's hard to get good information out there. And
Or Neil deGrasse Tyson.
I really like my idea of killing more people to save more people. I
think
like
we
that.
should make the turbines spin faster and then put like
Nice.
bird breeding grounds all around them. And then webcams and like some sort of betting system where you can bet on which turbine is going to hit a bird
I mean,
next.
over time, you're just gonna like
You're
encourage
forced
the
of-
birds
yeah.
to evolve to be able
Yeah.
to avoid the blades better.
They're going to be like really
Selective
strong.
breeding. Yeah.
I think part of the
Incorporating
problem,
like steel into their bones.
Pretty soon the blades get more damaged than the bird flies.
The birds increase their density, so they just fly
It's
through
like,
them.
we did not expect this at all.
super birds. Oh no! I think part of the problem is that nuclear is like a black box, right? You see it from afar behind a fence, and you're like,
just won't let you go up
it just
there.
happens. But like a wind turbine, you're like, oh, I get that. That makes sense. You know, or a photovoltaic, you can see that. So I think, and there's something the industry can do better too, just from a branding perspective. That's just seems less menacing and mysterious and all that. Like no, and this is the Simpsons' fault, I think, but no one knows what a cooling tower actually is.
Well, it's not the most cartoon.
No, it is. It's the most iconic image.
That's
of
where
a
they
nuclear
pump
power
out
plant.
radiation into the atmosphere, right?
That's where chemtrails are born.
Yeah.
But that's what I think the average person would say. Something about radiation. But in actuality, every single cooling system in every single nuclear power plant is isolated.
It's not connected.
Such a steam coming out.
They're either separate loops or they're two separate loops.
Oh, like a double.
So it's a heat exchange from the nuclear stuff, then gets cooled in the tower. It's just a cross current heat exchange. But everyone thinks that it's something menacing, right? What's that smoke coming out of there? That smoke is water vapor.
Yeah.
You could stand in that and be fine. And it's not even that hot.
Well,
no, you could. And
how hot is it?
Well, it's not. By the time it comes out, it's not all that hot. But that discrepancy between what the public thinks and what it actually is the problem, right?
Yeah. How many people drop out of high school?
What?
Like a year?
On average, a year. Like how many people graduate high school?
Why would I know that off the top of my head?
You know a lot of numbers.
You know
What do you mean?
things.
How
Okay,
would you
yeah,
know?
right,
You know all
Jesus.
these fucking numbers.
I didn't know I was supposed to be the smart guy here today.
Well, what the hell are we?
Yeah, come on. You thought that was gonna be us?
The dropout rate in California, that's probably a pretty low number. It's
9.6%.
almost 10%.
That seems low to me.
Really?
I guess, I mean, I was never that close to dropping out.
So if that number
5%?
is good at all,
That's pretty good.
then 10% of people drop out of high school, and I mean that's like a pretty big. But how many of those people that finish high school?
Well,
didn't
I'm
do a
not.
good job in high school?
I don't blame this problem on people being dumb. I've never in my communication career, I never approach it from the just like, oh, they're stupid. There's so many factors that lead to just not knowing something or consuming media that has a, like The Simpsons, that has a weird portrayal of something. I don't think I'm smarter than anyone else. I just have other things that I know that I can tell you. And once you know those things,
easily swayed though. Like people are maybe less likely to try to understand something and will just
100%.
sort of listen to
100%.
Like Fallout. As a show, probably doesn't do good things publicity wise for nuclear.
That's it.
The Simpsons.
I wonder.
The whole fucking
though.
intro with the green rods blowing.
Yeah,
doesn't
that
do
ruined
good things for radiation.
that. I think created the green goo kind of trope. That, and I think it originally came from Undark.
Which is Mr. Burns, the evil owner of a nuclear power plant?
Yeah.
Holy shit!
No, I actually wonder about the Fallout thing.
Yeah,
If it was
because there's bombs at the beginning,
100% negative.
and it's about. I don't know.
It makes
I
you
don't
immortal.
know. No,
Makes you immortal.
because it's giving a fun kind of goofy valence to the whole thing. It's not like it's not like
cartoonifying it almost.
Yeah. So and people love the series,
right?
So I don't know if it's an anti-nuclear thing, and the show isn't anti-nuclear, nuclear power. What it is anti-nuclear war. As if anything would confuse people about my position, is that I'm very pro-nuclear power and very anti-nuclear
How
weapons.
is that confusing?
Because
for
people think the two go together. No, this is a real thing. People are like, well, if you have a nuclear power plant, could you make a bomb out of it in my town? Could a terrorist come into a power plant and make a nuclear bomb? That is a legitimate question that people have.
I think the answer technically is
I
probably
think some people are kind of stupid.
I think everyone's really stupid.
Not real. I mean,
They just haven't had the chance to
they
learn
both have
yet.
uranium
they
fuel.
don't want to learn. That's why I think there's.
Well, they both have uranium fuel, but the fuel is not enriched to the same quality. It's not in the right configuration or shape. You don't have the same engineering stuff there. You don't have the casing, the charges. You don't have any of that. It'd be much easier to just break into a
probably do something. I think this is like the comical part. Is like a nuclear bomb is
you're
bad.
You're gonna
but
describe a
taking
dirty
nuclear-
bomb.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but fucking what?
Yeah.
They're both horrible.
No,
Like you,
I would argue that a nuclear bomb is orders of magnitude worse.
You don't think you could do like a massive amount of? You could probably take out an insane number of people with very little effort.
That's what the DoD said.
Is that actually what a dirty bomb is? You just blow up radioactive material and spread it around. Yeah. Oh, I'm a genius.
Has that ever happened? Has anyone? That's never actually happened.
No.
Right?
Yeah, because no one actually has.
No, because the control of nuclear material is highly regulated. Yeah. But the DoD told me like that is a non-trivial concern. Like when you have a lot of power plants and you're transporting fuel and stuff, that's non-trivial. Yes, fuel can be dangerous. You have to keep it locked down, but it's not the same thing.
You cannot just go into a nuclear power plant and steal their fuel.
No.
No.
Like many people with M16s were shepherding me through my visit. You can't even get anywhere near anything without being shot in the face. But the actual thing, there are nuclear submarines off of our coast right now that we can't detect.
Right.
That have about 90 nuclear warheads on them.
That's like some paranoid schizophrenic shit.
We know this is true.
Like, they're coming for us.
No, we know this is true. And
we're coming for you.
Any one of these warheads going off would obliterate the entire city in milliseconds. That is the problem.
I think there's
nuclear fuel is not the problem. The problem is that it's easier to locate a softball in orbit than it is to locate a nuclear submarine off of the coast of California. And we know that they're there, and we know that the Russian subs are there, and we know that they have missiles pointed at every major city in the United States right now. And it has been that way for decades, and we have all just said, fine, mutually assured destruction. It is insane. It is absolutely insane.
I'm at the point where I'm just like, get over it. Just do it, pussy.
No, rebuild Los Angeles to an actually functioning city.
Yeah, we can actually make functioning traffic.
You can tell I'm getting fired up about it. There's a new book that just came out that talked to over 100 experts in like the proliferation field. And they said the time it would take from missiles being fired to more or less the collapse of civilization is about 45 minutes.
Do you think that if they shot a missile
should be
at Los Angeles, it would hit us here? Do you think it would hit us here if they blew up LA? I think it'd be pretty close.
No, it wouldn't go that. I mean, we're 50 miles out. I mean, no bomb's radius is that big.
There is a military base right over there.
But once every doctor is on fire and all of your food is gone, it's not much longer until everything is chaos and
would
everyone
TikTok still work?
But I've got 400 pounds of rice buried in a shipping container, Kyle. My arm is falling off and I'm bleeding to death. But don't worry, the rice is sucking up.
I don't think it would be that bad.
And there's no more power, and there's no more internet, and there's no more phones, and everybody.
It would be nice. I don't think it would be that bad. I don't think it would be like Fallout makes it seem like.
Kevin's Fallout. I think the instant you can't go to a doctor to fix your.
Well, I mean, that's going to be bad. But I don't think everyone's going to turn on each other.
About a full nuclear exchange with Russia.
I'm about the spirit of the American people. I don't think they're going to turn and kill and murder each other.
I think
there won't be people to kill and murder each other. We're talking about 200 million people vaporized within the first hour.
Yeah, well, only 50% of the people live in cities. So you know what?
No more traffic.
No more traffic. That's
gonna be
more
Democrats.
No more
roads.
No more Democrats.
No more roads. No more Republicans. No more Democrats. No more liberals. No more conservatives.
Only the last of the TikTok servers.
The Zoomers or something. I don't know. Maybe they're like
you trade TikToks.
Would there be enough time? Okay.
You have to do it in real life.
Find a phone with like some cash TikToks.
Hold on. So nuclear war breaks out. Like TikTok is going to go away, right?
No,
like the servers
TikTok's like a cockroach, dude.
So, but like, what is the period of time?
They're gonna EMP all of our power grids to start off.
Like we're literally gonna rebuild
everything's gonna go out
using TikTok.
Everything's gonna go out.
There's no period of time where like nuclear war starts, but there's a window where like people can still put TikToks up on TikTok. Like, oh shit, nuclear war's happening. Like, is there a window of time where that could happen, where people could upload?
There's a slight.
Yes, that's all.
Fortnite dancing in front of a nuclear cloud.
No, it's like the nuclear shadow of somebody flossing like burned onto the wall.
I would love. That's the worst thing I've ever heard.
The 20 minutes.
That's one of the worst things I've ever heard. Where you took a known phenomenon of Japanese people being etched onto concrete and you turn it into a TikTok dance. Oh my god.
Someone's flossing and they,
so bad.
I think that
oh my god.
It really says something about our current society.
It says something about you.
We live in a society.
Why do you, man? I don't know about Japan. I mean, like I didn't make
generally.
I didn't make the connection of people being burned by
That one's
their atomic
real, right?
bombs.
Japan
That's the reason
is
you
real?
know that.
I think so.
Maybe.
No, we can't do this again. No, we did this
All right,
with
wait, wait.
Norway last time. We can't do that again.
What did we say about Norway last
does
time?
not exist.
real.
No, that.
Who's
Okay, anyway.
Norway doesn't exist. Though.
Have you heard about the new
Or Fin-
beta?
or Finland.
Have you heard about the beta volt batteries?
The nuclear waste batteries?
No, they're made with it's like a little miniature thing that uses like beta radiation, and they're supposed to be able to is that what it is?
Well,
It's waste.
Part of the idea
Like
is
sandwiched between diamond
From
wafers or
Duracell.
something.
Yeah. The part of the idea is to just use low level radioactive material, maybe waste or material that's no longer good to be inside of a reactor, and you just use that small amount of radiation in like wafer form to get an electric potential and make a tiny little battery.
So epic.
I want a
Yeah,
TV.
that's awesome.
I want a
cannot wait
TV
for that.
remote that literally will work
It
forever.
will.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
And then every
Most-
year when I buy a new TV, I throw it in a landfill.
Right. Most burn it in a fireplace.
Most nuclear fuel is recycled, which people don't. Again,
that's
don't
the only
know.
problem with these.
People
is-
don't know.
Oh god.
But also-
people throw away like lipos in their disposable vapes. I cannot imagine.
You ever see like the trash can truck on fire just like going
Yeah.
down the street?
Yeah, that's the one thing I worry about, just having orphan sources everywhere. But I don't think if it's going to be commercialized like that, I doubt it's radioactive enough to be an actual health hazard.
I think it only makes like 10 microwatts.
Yeah,
the
it's
current
almost
version.
nothing. We're
But-
talking about
They said they can
very,
beef
very
it up
low
to
level.
like a whole amp or something,
That-
or like a
that's
whole
a-
watt.
Well, I mean,
whole lot,
we
a
know what
whole
it is
lot.
at high levels. At high levels are RTGs.
Yeah.
The radioisotope thermal generators, which is just a big chunk of plutonium that gets so hot that the heat differential creates an electric
And that's not
potential.
what this battery
No,
does,
well,
though.
it's the smallest version of that.
No, I think this one actually uses the like electrons directly.
Oh, like like
Yeah.
the photoelectric effect kind of thing. Yeah. You're right. So what I was saying is a thermal effect,
like
and
as
that's an
a
electric
big
effect. But the
radio-
big
yeah.
ones we put on like space probes, and it's just a big hunk of hot rock that creates a small electric potential for a long ass time and keeps it warm.
Right.
But can also kill
That's
you.
how I know we'll finally have evolved as a society, when we can like be trusted with little radioactive.
that will never, we try to sell cigarettes to children if there weren't laws about it. We're never going to get to tiny nuclear batteries.
So people, when they don't need it anymore, they would just take it to Best Buy, drop it in the bin.
They would feed them to seagulls, Kevin.
But then the seagulls would get so strong.
They'd bioaccumulate them too, so
They
they
would
get
bio-
like a bunch of them inside there, and they're just
Yeah.
it becomes like a fuel pellet in there. You just have radioactive birds flying
And
around.
then what's the term for the that when it gets concentrated enough where it can start fusing for a second?
Oh, it goes critical.
Yeah,
Oh,
a seagull
critical
goes
mass in a
critical.
seagull.
Yeah,
and suddenly
you
like,
feed it
you're
enough
just
like radiation.
Dude, it's like real life Pokemon.
nice day at the beach, isn't it, Timmy? Yeah, it's a
people are just like throwing little batteries.
Yeah, seagull, you self-destruct.
It works so much better than rice and Alka-Seltzer.
that's what Voltorb did. It was a
think-
small. He went critical. He was an orb anyway.
It's kind of a dark thing for a children's show, and they never really explain how it comes
Oh,
like
for the
back to
Pokemon that
life.
kill themselves.
Yeah,
to-
like actually.
He just sits there kind of like fried and like he just
Yeah, he's got like the little smoke lines coming off.
Yeah,
of
he
him.
does. It doesn't. They don't die. They just get knocked out.
They go to
Pokemon
sleep.
Right.
never die in
Right,
a fight.
hence
They
the
get
self-destruct.
knocked out.
There's
So
joy
they-
can knock me out.
I feel like any nuclear
like
society is not going to fall apart from any like nuclear disaster. I think like nuclear is like
not
cutting,
not like a meltdown,
but even
from,
like a
from a
bomb.
nuclear exchange.
But it's
yeah.
like you're cutting somebody's arm off. I think there's other things that are way more likely.
I've read papers that a single tactical nuclear weapon in a major American city would be literally the worst thing that's ever happened.
What is the likelihood of that actually? happening?
yeah, it would be
higher than you want?
Like, but what? Like,
Much,
look at
much,
everything else
much
around
higher.
us.
worse than the two that we dropped in Japan.
Yeah, no. Think
they're better now.
about what if Manhattan was
That's the
obliterated.
problem with engineers. They just keep trying to make shit
Yeah.
better.
Bigger
What if
and
Manhattan
bigger.
was obliterated in a second? I'll cut to the chase here. The knock-on effects on the economy.
shareholders.
Yeah,
Real estate.
No, you're right. And the knock-on effects
The
have been.
economy would be in shambles.
Yes,
my 401k.
What 401k, Kevin?
they're laughing about something serious that I'm trying to say.
It's just New York. They probably agree.
Honestly,
The knock-on effects of that has been estimated in the trillions and would cause an immediate recession, depression, famine, all of this knock-on shit, and like a single bomb would do that in a major city.
I think we could.
And we have
knock out every
thousands
bomb
of
they
these.
threw at us.
We have thousands of these.
Just punch them out of the sky.
I bet we could.
I
think we
no, not with
ICBMs, hypervelocity.
not with like an
BRCs?
orbital platform is too fast to be detected in time.
Like based in like nukes already in space.
Well, right now we have a system in place that is in geosynchronous orbit with every nuclear launch site in Russia that can detect a nuclear launch within from its rocket
heat.
exhaust plume within 1 second.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
It's cool, but that should tell you how fucking close we are to annihilating ourselves.
It's like the entire world is like has preloaded like the world's most dangerous rat trap, and
Yes.
it's like they it's above everyone's head. It's like they just if you could see how much energy was in this spring loaded trap.
they call it the dead man's hand.
Like imagine it's like a saw trap. Like we're walking around with this thing around our neck that has like a car coil spring.
and everyone's forgotten everyone's forgotten about it.
Well, you
that's
don't see
the
it. So you're
that's
just like
that's
whatever.
the problem. That's the problem, and that's
Like
when
I feel safer having that radioactive material in a power plant than in a missile that's capable of landing in a city. Like,
Yes.
is that the crazy part? Everyone's like, oh, the thing that is being designed to try to make radiation safe is what I'm scared of, not the thing that's literally designed to make radiation dangerous.
Also, why do they want to nuke cities? You know what? Keep it between yourselves. Nuke Washington.
Oklahoma or some shit?
Yeah.
Or why don't we send it to Norway since we're
Yeah,
pretending
but
that exists
I
now?
don't care. I don't care about your
Wow,
stupid
it was
fight.
real.
Just bomb the bases.
so you bring up another really complicated moral thing. Not to get too serious, but in that book I was mentioning,
Nuclear war.
we don't have ICBMs that. So let's say North Korea
Sure.
launched a nuclear strike against us.
Yeah,
We want to hit them back, right?
of course.
Or that's an insane thing to do in some moral
what
respect.
if they didn't though? I still
But wait.
It's like your brother throws a stick at you, so you punch him.
Wait,
you
throw-
you
wait.
like run him over.
Wait,
with a car.
I didn't get to the complicated.
I know what
yeah,
you're saying.
No. We don't have ICBMs that can hit North Korea from here
Yes.
without flying over Russia.
Ah.
So now when you say, why not just have your war? Leave us out of it. Think of how hard it will be for us to go to Russia and say, hey,
Don't
see all those
worry.
bombs flying over your
not
country
going
right
to you."
now? Definitely not going to hit you.
No way.
Definitely not going to hit you. Don't worry about it.
Well, they would go up over, right?
Yes, they would
over the
have
North
to go
Pole.
over Russia. And so you can easily think up scenarios where it's like, oh, just mind your business, but you can't because the stake is your civilization ends.
Okay, I have a question.
You can't
If,
take
Also,
there,
you
if there's
can't
an
take
probably
profits.
ICBM,
couldn't
a
hit us.
nuclear bomb that's going to be sent somewhere,
They
like
can
we're
hit
going to bomb
California.
somebody,
think now they can?
what meme would you spray paint on it?
Oh man. Where's it going?
Nyan Cat?
Dick butt? I don't know. I mean, it doesn't matter. Russia, North Korea, Norway.
I mean, we used to doodle on the bombs that were dropping on Germany and stuff like that. Like this one, deliver to Hitler.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I mean, people would do it.
I mean, you can donate money to Ukraine or whatever,
they'll put-
a
yeah.
meme on it? Oh,
Yeah.
shit.
I have some of that. I have some of that meme merchandise of the pro-Ukraine like meme.
Oh, God.
Like,
Oh, really?
like the Shiba Inu guy who's like sending
Oh,
with
yeah,
like a
what's his-
HIMARS system.
Yeah, the
and shit.
HIMARS
I would
guy.
put for rectal use only.
They call them the fellas.
Fucking new.
Yeah, the fellas.
The
Yeah,
fellas.
yeah. Yeah, no, I have some Saint Javelin merch.
I think like the whole nuke thing is so stupid because there's so many things that are like maybe less dangerous but much higher likelihood of happening or already happening.
Yeah.
I do feel like the AI progression is probably much more dangerous than people realize.
I agree.
And it's like that's like a disease. That's like actually having like an incurable disease.
Yeah, nuclear power isn't even on my list.
It's
I
like
mean,
nuclear power is like getting in a car
No,
accident.
I have a top 3. I mean, existentially, it's nuclear weapons, AI, and then synthetic pandemics for me. I mean, if you're not even in that universe, I don't care because
I
those
think
things can
AI
wipe
might
us
be at
out.
the top though, because AI is going to propagate and manipulate everything underneath it.
Yeah, but it doesn't right now have the potential to end civilization within an hour.
Yeah, but I think that this is like a 10, 15, 20
No, I
year,
totally agree.
Like,
I
it's
think
going to be like a slow bleed.
I think
of-
we're going to look back and see that deciding to release ChatGPT to 100 million people off a whim
Yeah.
was probably one of the biggest mistakes
Mistakes
we've
ever.
ever
I
we've
love
ever
being
made.
a part of
I
that.
cannot believe there's not more regulation. And everybody be like, well, ChatGPT.
No, it's
like,
absolutely
no,
insane. It's
They, like,
absolutely insane that
it's-
happened.
Yes. Like the fact that you can make songs that are indecipherable from real life, to me, is like this indication that AI is much, much more capable. And the stuff that you haven't seen yet, or the stuff that's like, you know, like being worked on, or even like the fact that there is this problem, like this compute problem that everyone's trying to fix, like so much money is getting poured into this thing that will only make our lives worse.
The incentive to make this insane is so much higher than the incentive to control it.
Yes.
And you know, I don't want to. Well,
go for it.
Well,
for
the record, I don't want to
edit it out later.
Well, I don't want to bring this down, but you know,
Broco's back.
I do want to speak directly to you for a second, because when people are like, why is it so dangerous? What's the problem? Why can't I just have fun face filters and stuff like that?
You can have fun.
What I would say to someone like you, I was just outside, beautiful newborn baby daughter.
Yeah.
What a cute kid.
Thank you. It's my gene.
Because of AI and its proliferation right now, it is, and these apps already exist, it will be trivially easy for someone to make child pornography of her with a single photo that you've posted.
I think
online.
It's already happening.
With a single photo, they can age up your baby, and then make explicit pornography, and then make 1 billion copies of it, and then have it live forever on bots.
Yeah.
That is the kind of stuff that we're ignoring for the fun stuff.
Yes.
And that's not even the worst thing that I can think of.
Given
that it's completely unregulated, I do not
trust anybody that's in charge of anything right now to make the correct decision on how to make sure that it does not.
You think Elon Musk is going to shitpost his way out of this?
He's going to be the first person that turns babies into porn.
Yeah.
Can I just say that I feel like I did not say the worst thing today?
It should offend you. I want it to offend you. I want it. It should gross you out. It should scare you.
Yeah,
that's the point.
I feel like that's basically like fear mongering, though. At this point, I feel like it's like the video games cause mass.
Now I hear that a lot. The issue is scale and scope. AI, you would be right if it was
stuck here,
making a Polaroid versus people could drawing a photo. I'm talking about bringing a machine gun to a fucking knife fight.
Yeah,
I can do this for free in seconds at a scale that would take a person 100 years.
You won't even be doing it though. I think that's the problem. Is it will be completely automated. Like the entire system.
The scope will be so big, it will be uncontainable.
We can't comprehend it even. I think.
And I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm not saying a lot of people like me do go overboard with the fear mongering a little bit, but that's because I see the potential scale of the problem and it terrifies me.
I mean, we're on a podcast, that's good. You should go as far as you think.
Even just like 2 months ago, I made a video, and then within a week, I saw a headline like authorities struggling to contain AI child pornography on popular websites. Like it
like I like the title
happening.
And then what that room of people looks like is just a bunch of old fuckers who have no idea what's happening.
Oh yeah.
Like they're just like the other day we were talking about when Michael and I got visited by the FBI. They told us, talk to the local police department, tell them that there's like a high likelihood that people would target you. And we call the police department, and they're like, what crime was committed? And we're like, oh shit. And they're like, what do? You make videos? And it's like, yeah, and this happened, blah, blah, blah. And they were like, oh, well, I don't, like, people watch these videos? I don't understand. Like, I'm like, we're actually straight up gonna die. Like, we're gonna die, and it's gonna be the police that
I just changed my list of fears. It was asteroids, aliens, and then false vacuum. And I think police go on that list.
Police at the top.
Yeah.
False vacuum is a hell of a one to put up there.
You go real quick.
Come out of nowhere, bro.
Hey, wouldn't you rather that than have the
like
fallout
a
situation
thing? That's
I at least want to see the nuclear fireball.
False vacuum is like basically reality just kind of instantly ends because
that's easy.
Like it's like the mass of the Higgs boson changes.
We just all die in our sleep effectively.
Yeah, everything would just disappear instantly. You wouldn't even notice.
I think
we take Three Body Problem.
Yeah,
it's a good show.
The only thing that we care about is the change in our consciousness, a movement from less suffering to more suffering. That's all we care about. Yeah. So if it happens instantaneously and you can't even process it,
send it, gamers. Push the button, cowards.
Send it, gamers. No, I'm with you. I am more on the doomer side of AI, where it does it. I'm also on the record like, if anything is going to find a cure from cancer or something from big data or something, AI is going to do it.
If there's anything that's going to introduce a new cancer, it's going to be AI.
But I can think of so many other worse outcomes than potentially good ones. And maybe that's just me being naive, or I'm not thinking about it all the way through. But Either way, we're not being cautious enough.
Did you see the news story recently of the like physical administration or physical education administrator, something at some school somewhere that made an AI phone call conversation, like it was recorded on a mobile device of like the principal or something. It was another faculty member, and they basically they fired or put on leave the person that had to make the fake phone call or the fake phone recording made of them.
Yeah.
And then it took weeks for them to finally figure out that it was fake. And then they like intercepted him as he was, traveling at an airport. And I like everybody believed it. Like news agencies published it. Like everybody, if you listen to it, it says it sounds so real. Like I think what they must have done, like it was very clever. He must have like generated it. I don't know how he did it because it had like some emotional ups and downs, but the verbiage was just a little bit too absurd in a couple of spots where you're like, it feels like somebody, it's almost like a kid saying something on like Xbox Live
Still
just
an
to say
uncanny
something.
valley.
So what exactly happened? It was like some guy tried to get his teacher. Like
they released, it was submitted to journalists and a couple of students. They like leaked it to students. A recording of a faculty member, maybe been the principal or someone at the school, saying bad things about students, kind of like racist shit.
Okay.
Like and somebody recorded it on a phone, and like then
somebody like got this secret recording.
Somebody got the secret recording, and there was like a layer of like obscuring it. But I think that it was like an audio file played from a speaker that then was maybe recorded from like a couple, like maybe 10, 15 feet away to give it that like distance.
Like they were like sitting in on this conversation.
Yes, like almost like recording it under a door or something. And it went like from an administrative perspective, went way too far down the punishment hole for the person who had this fake thing made about them that they will now never be able to escape, even though it was confirmed as fake. And like that is horrifying, because anyone who says like, oh, like ChatGPT or the voice things aren't that good, like it literally has
just
already.
Just wait.
Yeah.
Just wait.
No, it's good. I get fooled every time I go on YouTube and I start watching a short and then I realize like, damn
no,
it.
it's the verbiage that doesn't.
And
make
if it's
sense.
not okay,
Yes,
if it's not okay
it's
now,
always the verbiage.
Wait 3 months.
Yes, and there probably
it's going to get
worse and worse.
It's
and worse.
going to get indistinguishable.
And people are like, even if
and
the
once
tools
it does video perfectly,
we're fudged
we're
right in the butt.
Well, I mean, we're out of work.
Yeah,
for sure.
I think that it's
100%.
even if the tools themselves don't work super well, having a little bit of creativeness to then manipulate the output of the tools, you can then, it's like the low res security camera footage. Like what do you put in a horror movie to sell the monster? Like shitty camera resolution. Like
just sit there enough and you'll get the perfect responance from it.
Or you just keep generating. Like
people are already scamming older people with their
by sounding
with
like
their voices of their the grandson.
If your tools aren't sophisticated enough, target stupider people.
There's going to be Thanabots that will resurrect your dead loved ones that you can have conversations with for a price. It is going to get really
One
weird.
thing I'm paying for, Grandma.
It's going to get really weird. I don't see the light. I don't see the light at the end of the tunnel. I don't know why they let it out of the lab and just. Hey, money.
Everybody's doing it.
Well, and
everyone's throwing like billions of dollars.
And they're also training the model. I mean, it's a cynical way to do that too. But
literally every company. It's like funny. Like I even saw a thing where it's like Grindr is putting money into machine learning.
Oh, I just was on. I just checked Instagram yesterday, and at the top of Instagram, your messages changed. It says. Now ask
Facebook's
our
our Meta AI anything you want.
I literally have nothing.
It's inside there.
It.
Yeah, I don't either, but that just popped up.
It's like a new feature. Like, I want to send a DM, and it's like, would you like to ask a neural network a question? No, I would not.
Just send my penis where I need it to go.
Send it.
Can you send me this girl's private messages just to me?
Yeah. Can you give me the phone number to Mark Zuckerberg? I'm having trouble logging into my account. I need tech help support.
Yeah, let's give hormonally challenged
Mark
young
Zuckerberg?
people everywhere. Oh no, he's fuckable now. I don't know if you guys saw
I did
that.
see that.
All right,
no?
he grew a beard, right?
Yeah, he went from
Wow.
Mr. Steal Your Data to Mr. Steal Your Girl.
No way.
Mr. Slap Your Ass.
Oh yeah,
Around.
he's hot now.
Mark Zuckerberg.
All it took was a beard, huh?
He got rizzed up.
Yeah, look at that.
This man.
Whoa, dude, he looks like Justin Bieber in a way.
What? Justin Bieber?
It's
He's
the
like
kind
long
of like
Justin
the
Bieber.
patchy. He is, yeah, like the patchy beard. Ginger.
Is that real?
Okay.
Fake picture of Mark Zuckerberg with beard is freaking people out. You feel for it. He's not fuckable.
Fake picture of Mark Zuckerberg making people horny.
He's not fuckable. He's still not fuckable.
Hey,
So
I know it looked weird, but so this was everywhere. So this is fake.
he could pull that off.
Did you see the Justin Bieber one where his teeth are all
where's
fucked up?
the
And that was fake
article
too?
that
Like
claims
corn?
what
Yeah,
is the
it was
word?
like his teeth
Like
were
fruity
like
pebbles.
meth teeth. and-
Where is the proof?
Wait, no, so-
Wait, it says this photo is obviously not real. What do you mean obviously not real?
What? He can't be hot.
Yeah.
That was everywhere. That was literally everywhere. Wow.
Fans
it's
thirst over
fake.
Photoshop. It's not even AI. It's photoshopped.
It's gotta be
Old school.
No way.
Huh.
Why would somebody who's good at Photoshop that?
Because why?
This is exactly what some moron at TMZ.
That's
would
what
do.
I'm afraid of because you
Yeah.
can. Just
Like,
because you
Good
you
old
can.
fashioned Photoshop.
Wow, I was fooled. We were all. Jeez.
Oh, but he reacts to who
did this?
yeah, he's
Pass or smash. Smash for sure.
wow. Yeah, no, I fell for it.
There you go. I mean, I fell for the fucking that Pope picture a while
Pope
ago.
picture, yeah,
I fell
yeah,
for
a lot
the
of people
Pope
did.
picture.
Which one was that?
Where he's
Where he
got
has
the puffy,
the big
fashionable
Balenciaga.
jacket. I was like, oh shit,
Yeah.
Pope's fashionable. He's not.
Pope's got drip. Nope.
That one was AI.
That one was yeah.
Bro.
Balenciaga
Yeah.
Pope go viral. Yeah, everyone. Yeah.
Didn't look at his hands.
No.
I did not look at his hands.
See, but this is this is the problem. Once we're now in the era where there's going to be so much of all of this.
What? He's got a whole Pope mobile. Why not a fashionable fucking
Why
jet?
can't-
Well, it was
I
at
don't
the
know.
height of the Balenciaga meme.
The
phase.
entire world thought it was.
The Pope's just trying to be more relatable.
That's true.
Yeah, hey, you thought Mark Zuckerberg was fuckable, huh?
He is.
Bro, I don't care if he's got a beard or not. If Mark Zuckerberg would have sex with me, I would think about it for a long time. I don't know what my answer would be.
Wait,
but
I have a question for Meta AI now.
I have.
Can you get me his number?
I feel like what are you gonna do? Say no? Like I know I should say no because I don't want to have sex with Mark Zuckerberg, but it's Mark Zuckerberg.
I know, right?
I mean,
Like,
we're in this.
you know,
we're
if
in
you
this.
say no, you're never going to get that opportunity.
I know.
again.
Well, are people gonna make fun of you for having
The
sex?
playing
with Mark
field
Zuckerberg?
is being so filled with all this stuff, and this is an old disinformation tactic. There's like once you believe it, just fill it with enough crap. It doesn't even have to be fake.
Yeah.
Then no one believes anything,
Yep.
and then democracy stops.
And honestly, though, the internet stops working. People don't trust it.
It's going to be the internet's going to be dead. I think it's mostly dead already.
Yeah.
Agriculture, hunters, gatherers, meth makers. If I don't care.
Okay, yeah.
Why'd you look at him when
Class.
you said that?
Well, that's the
Yeah.
person here who would do it.
I could do it.
Good to know.
Oh, Kevin's gonna break back.
The only
That's what they
thing
call
keeping
it,
me
right?
back from making meth is the
Laws
fact
and
that
regulations.
that society hasn't collapsed yet.
Yeah, after the apocalypse, I know who I'm sticking with. Who's going to have the real caps?
Kevin, I need some medicine.
Daddy needs some stim packs.
I feel not as awake as I would like to be.
Do we want to end this on another open sauce?
Oh, yeah.
thing?
All
Because
right.
Kyle, you're gonna be at open sauce this year,
I
right?
am. I was
Hell
tricked into
yeah.
going.
Yeah, you
Nice.
signed something. You can't
that
take
was
back.
a big mistake, but yes, I'll be at Open Sauce and happy to be there and check out everything
things that
that
happen.
all
What are you
the
ex- what are you
things, all the
expecting?
people. I don't know.
Have you seen anything of it?
I have.
Okay.
I don't know what to expect. I know there's going to be a bunch of nerds and a bunch of makers and a bunch of people that I'd like to talk to and a bunch of fans that I'd love to meet. So
and hopefully a
yeah.
bearded Mark Zuckerberg.
Well, he comes up to me and he gives me some of that riz.
Mhm, bro, I literally wouldn't stand a chance.
Please breed me.
Mark Zuckerberg, will you be my friend?
There's giant robots. There's like exhibits. I didn't get
I'm
to see a
excited.
lot of it last year, but you like. I don't know how you normally like get treated by your fans, but like they like us there. It's like a place where people like us.
Yeah.
It's
Are you not
incredible.
used to that?
No, not at all. No.
Mm-mm.
It was
I think
pretty incredible.
Alan said this
actually.
is what it feels like to be a hot girl.
This is what it feels like to be
People
bearded Mark
us
Zuckerberg.
now. Yeah. Mark Zuckerberg with a beard.
Ugh.
This is what it must feel like to be bearded Mark
Wow.
Zuckerberg.
ladies.
You get treated so different.
Mhm, it's nice.
Alan's just like us. Wow.
It's nice.
Incredible.
But that's for like all of us there. It was
Yeah.
pretty nuts.
No, I
Yeah.
mean not to be weird about that point, but it is very recharging as a creator in my experience when you meet people who validate what you do
Mhm.
and they're nice and you're like, oh, I'm a fan and they give some of their time to watch me, so I will gladly give some of my time to say hello to them. And it's like I said, it's validating. It feels good. Everyone's happy. It's always a good time. That's
they
why
like your videos. They don't say like, oh, your last one was 9 to 10. Not like YouTube Studio. YouTube Studio will tell you
my
that.
last
But
one
the
was
fans don't tell you
10
that.
out of
Yeah,
10.
YouTube does not know how to talk to you, but
No.
the audience does.
Yeah, I like going to events like that just because people are, especially nerds, are so nice and so gracious, and yeah, they're good people. Meet a lot of nice people there.
All right. Well, if you guys want to meet your favorite YouTube creators, there's about 150 of them.
Jesus,
it's actually
wow.
psychotic how many
That's
people are going to be
crazy.
there.
Too many.
I think the fact that like everybody signed back up to do it again,
We gotta narrow it down.
It's a good sign.
Yeah.
I'll fight a couple of them. if
Yeah, you want to do like an American Ninja Warrior style course to thin that down to like 75?
I think Laser will probably beat me on that one.
Jake Laser, I've seen NileRed. I have seen him out
Really?
upper body strength. Jake Laser, in
Oh,
specific,
yeah, Nigel's a
Jake is
sleeper.
like aesthetically buff,
Yeah.
but Nigel,
But he's not
got
practically
like the
strong.
yeah, like
He's
it's
got that like the
um,
infant trapped under a car mother strength.
It's like
Yes.
the that thing where like on a pull-up bar you hold yourself horizontal under.
You know,
it.
the
Nigel
two-
can do that
with the
Jake struggles
rings.
to
You know,
do
the
that.
rings. He can do like
I
all
can
the
do those.
crazy like the
Yeah,
Yeah,
Jesus
Nigel's
thing.
got
that.
very functional upper body.
crazy.
Nigel could rip a living chicken in half with his bare hands.
Yeah.
Very functional.
the
Like-
long way.
I do those as pull-ups. You
Yeah.
start on the rings. And you go like
He
that.
calls them rip aparts.
Yeah, I've been using. Did you guys ever do an ad for Copilot?
No.
Personal fitness service?
No.
Oh. I
never
did
even heard.
something
thought
called
you were gonna
Delta
say
Trainer, and
Microsoft.
they
Yeah,
fucking
You
went
did
under,
establish titles too.
I did establish titles, yeah. But Delta Trainer, they fucking went under like 3 months after I did an ad.
That's
read for
great.
that.
No, I did this Copilot one. They asked me to do like 2 workouts with the app to get a sense for it. I'm now on a 105-day streak. of
Wow.
3 days a week personal training.
Awesome.
That's
I
good.
feel fucking strong.
I don't.
It's awesome.
I sit in a chair all day. I don't do any exercise. I go on walks.
That's still a streak. You
Give
can
'em-
still put that on a
you-
calendar.
Is
give-
it
you
like
say-
calisthenics or is
No,
it
you
like,
you tell them what equipment you have access to, and they
Okay.
make a personal training plan based on it.
You do like a prison gym. You just say I've got like cinder blocks.
yeah.
Yeah.
Concrete.
My
with a
my
piece of
partner
rebar.
recently broke her arm powerlifting.
Oh.
And so but they made her a full workout. I was like,
That's
okay,
probably terrible.
you can't lift right now. We'll do all legs, and so she switched to all legs, and it was. I don't need to plug them, but
Wow. She was powerlifting. Was it
How-
bad? Was it like
she's a personal trainer, so she had a previous break that then broke through, not through the skin. Like it was a partial fracture that became a full fracture.
yeah, man.
Not as bad as I made it sound.
So it was like a recent fracture, like an active fracture.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
It was her fault. She was doing something she shouldn't have been doing.
I
Which
can't
is-
imagine picking something up and then just.
Which is fine. You know her. She's jacked.
Feeling it.
Go ahead. Tell him how ripped she is.
She's ripped? I don't know
Nice.
why you need me to
Because you're the only one who's met her. You dumbass.
She gives very strong hugs.
Oh yeah, we're still gonna do steroids, Alan.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Once we find a good connection.
Yeah, I'm not doing natty. Fuck that.
Do you have to
I'm
work out or
juice
you
all
just
the
get
way.
buff?
We looked it up, and you apparently
Apparently
can
you
just
get a little buff by just doing nothing
Yeah.
with steroids.
It's turbocharging the gains of working out.
Okay, so what if I don't do the working out
Well,
part?
do a little bit of work.
Alan and I read a study that says that you will gain more muscle just taking steroids and doing nothing than a pro athlete, than somebody that works out and doesn't take steroids. Just sitting there, you'll
What if
gain
never
like
takes steroids? That's
20
great.
pounds of
I
muscle.
think it does really bad things to you.
Yeah.
What could possibly be bad?
Which camera? What?
No, nothing. Oh. I was trying to see if I look like Kevin after doing juice.
Oh, if there's
Oh.
a before and after,
Yeah.
that could be a thumbnail.
Your arms are bigger than your arms are like Kevin's legs.
Like the thumbnail is literally Kevin and Kyle. It says before after.
Oh my god. Those are big
Kevin,
arms.
there's like two of your arms in his
that's
one
not
arm.
This is my bad arm versus his
Oh
good
my
arm.
God.
I ripped my
yeah,
shirt
like your-
opening that. You hear that?
Like your good arm is gonna be
My
any
good
bigger.
If it makes you feel better, Kevin's dick is bigger than your arm.
Yeah, that could
I'm
be a
using
thumbnail.
force perspective there. I was trying to. Yeah, I was Gandalfing your Frodo
You
right
were,
there.
dude. Right in front.
Just make it look way bigger.
I get that reference because we just went there and they told us
yeah?
all about it. How he had
Force
to sit
perspective.
6 feet away.
Yeah.
I Gandalfed on our Frodo, and she one-ringed my Mount Doom.
And she wouldn't stop dooming. I'm a doomer.
I Gollumed on her.
gonna fucking blast the little precious.
Thank you guys
Well,
for
thank you
tuning in
for
to this
letting us
episode
know
of
about
the
the
Safety
projects that
Third
you've been working on, Kyle.
podcast.
So nuclear power, right, Kyle?
It's so
No.
The Patreon extra after this is going to be us role playing Lord of the Rings characters, except we're all Gollum. And we're trying to. What's the role play? We'll figure that one out.
I want you to blow out my one ring,
Yeah.
precious.
We all are trying to get the one ring, but the one ring is actually
My bad.
Kyle's butt.
Kyle, do you want to talk about?
Oh yeah, what do you want to promote? You want to promote?
He already plugged it.
Just type in Kyle Hill on YouTube if you want to learn about stuff.
Yeah. All right, we'll see you next week, and we'll see you on Patreon.
Oh yeah,
for
right now.
for the people that help us pay for this shitty podcast.
It's a good podcast.
It's a podcast.
It's definitely
because
worth
bad.
whatever they pay.
Yeah.
What do they pay?
Not
Hundreds
enough.
of dollars
Not
a month.
enough.
Hundreds?
No, I'm just kidding.
Wow. I've been like the
They pay
audacity.
$5 for Discord access and then $15 for a signed Polaroid.
Yeah,
That's not bad.
Yeah,
every
That's
3
not bad.
months.
That's
Yeah,
fine.
yeah. It's good.
every 3 months. Yeah,
Every 3
they get a
months.
series.
Sometimes I see some people's Patreons. I'm like,
No, ours is great. Our Patreon's
That's a
excellent.
lot.
You get lots of extra crap.
yeah, look at all that.
Yeah, you
Bonus
get
content.
bonus. There's a bunch of good bonus content.
Yeah,
well,
yeah, that
there's a
looks
bunch
great.
of bonus content.
I don't know about you. I don't know about you guys, but when you have like a nice paid Discord like that, the people who show up are so nice and so nerdy, and like
so nerdy.
I have people that like help suggest episodes and create their own canon and all that. It's great. You should join their Patreon
Yeah.
if it's anything similar to that.
It is. It's probably a little bit worse than that, but it's still good.
Man, own it, man.
See you later, gamers.